I want to be at least 30 feet away from the street and people, because I'm starting to feel uncomfortable in my own living space and I do not like it. I don't like it. First of all, let me tell you how good God is. My GPS doesn't work on my phone. It's always giving me problems. It's always telling me it's lost signal, this, that, and the other. It has not worked for me for maybe like a year and a half. Tell me how, when I was crunched for time, lost in traffic and all that other stuff, did he get me to make it all the way down here and the GPS did not mess up once? It miraculously started working and it worked all throughout. And ladies and gentlemen, the dress is even more beautiful in person. I paid almost nothing for it. It is brand new. And like I was saying before, like what her problem was, she said she bought it and now she's having a destination wedding. So she said this is a little too much out there. So she said that she's not going to go with that style anymore. And this guy's gonna pull right in front of me. She's not gonna go with that style anymore because it's like too big and fancy and stuff. So that's the reason why she chose a different wedding dress. She's gonna be in a destination wedding in Jamaica. Oh my gosh! And her wedding is, how long is that? Her wedding is 3.5 weeks before my my postponed wedding dates. So I was like, wow, girl, congratulations and thanks for saving my life. She has no idea how much she saved my life. I cannot believe I got a brand new dress this pretty at almost nothing. Literally almost nothing. Ah, God is so good. So it's probably a good thing that I waited till the last minute to do this. Then she was like, she's like, you could probably like try on the dress and see if it fits. I'm like, listen, it's gonna have to fit. Whether I have to gain weight or lose pounds, I said it's gonna have to fit. I said this wedding is a few weeks. Perps, let me put my hair down. I'm messing up my mascara I just put on. Anywho, let me tell you about my day so far. So, we got our license. Yay! They sent it to us electronically, but let me tell you what went down, what even led up to that, why I was freaking out. First of all, I was so nervous. I don't know why I was so nervous, but first they told us that this virtual appointment was going to be an hour long. It was at 3 o'clock. So I wrote my manager. I was like, yo, you know, I have to do this virtual appointment and it's gonna be about an hour long, so I want to just clock out like 15 minutes early and I can come back and make up any time that I lose while I'm doing this interview. I didn't say what the interview was for. I just said I had an important interview or appointment. That's what I said. Anyways, so I clocked out at 2:45 and Xavier was supposed to be here at around 2:45. He was supposed to be here around the same time I was getting off because he actually does not work too far from the house. It takes him like minutes to get here. So I wasn't too concerned because I know he's not far from here, but I clocked out at 2:45 and he wasn't here yet. And I was getting nervous. I'm like, 2:50 rolls around, X is still not here. 2:55, now I'm panicking. Our appointment starts at 3. So I start the Zoom meeting with the guy from the clerk's office. And I was like, I said, I'm almost ready. I'm just waiting on the groom. Although I haven't heard from the groom in like 45 minutes and there was like no reference to this thing. So I'm starting to think like X forgot about the appointment. So I text him. I was like, where are you? No, I said, are you gonna be here soon? And he didn't respond. I'm like, let me just give him a couple minutes. And then my anxiety started going crazy again. So a minute later, I text him again. I'm like, are you gonna be here soon? And I'm like, let me give him a couple minutes. Well, that didn't work out either. Because then I called him. I called and I'm like, and the phone is ringing, and it's ringing, and it's ringing, and it's ringing, and he's not answering. And I told the guy, like, yeah, I'm still waiting on the groom and stuff like that. At this point, it was 2:59. And he's like, oh, that's okay, I'll just put you on hold. He didn't seem like he was in any rush. So he didn't answer. So I'm like, let me just give him another minute. So I call him again a minute later. Because I'm obsessive like that. So at this point, I've already called him twice and texted him twice. And he finally answers and he's like, I got caught up at work and I'm almost there and I'll be there soon. I'm like, hurry up. I was getting so flustered and I know I was like short with him on the phone. I feel really bad, but I was thinking that he forgot. I thought he forgot about the appointment. Look at my eyelashes. They are like doing all sorts of stuff right now. Anyways, so he was like, I'm gonna be there soon or whatever. So I unlocked the door for him and I go and sit back down, and the guy, the clerk's guy, he's not on the screen, but I know he's like there or whatever. So he gets back. I sit back on the couch, and as soon as I like hung up the phone, maybe like 30 seconds later, Xavier comes like running through the door and stuff, and he made it there like it was like maybe a few minutes to like 3:05. So I mean, it was still, I mean, he was late, but not like late because the appointment started at 3. And then the guy was like, I just need you guys to say that you guys are okay with having with getting this marriage license and stuff. And he asked me like 2 questions. It was something along those lines, and I said yes. And then they asked Xavier too, and they asked, the other question was like, was all the information on our paperwork correct, like as far as like our date of birth and where we were born and all the other stuff. And yeah, so those are the only 2 questions they asked. And then they said, we're gonna send you an email and we just need you to sign this thing saying that you want to get married or whatever. So they sent us an email while we're sitting there. And I'm thinking like there's gonna be like a whole lot of paperwork that we have to sign electronically. All we had to do was just type in our name once and then click and sign. That was all done. The whole process was done and over with in like 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops. And they told us that this thing was gonna be like an hour long. And I'm thinking before it happened, I'm like, why would they need an hour for a marriage? I haven't heard anyone having to wait that long for a license or whatever, you know, for an hour. I'm like, what exactly do you do in this whole process? I don't know. I'm so like, this whole thing is so foreign to me. That's basically all you do. They ask you 2 questions, they have you sign a paper, and then he says congratulations, and then lets us go. So all of that fussing and everything else was, oh, we had to show them our ID. I had to show them my passport since I don't have a valid ID right now. Other thing I was dealing with, I picked up the camera to vlog it earlier today when I was really upset. Right now I'm not so mad, although it's annoying. I'm not as mad as I was earlier, but I was really upset. This guy that I'm always talking about, you guys, and I'm sorry that I have to keep bringing him up because he's really starting to tick me off. I'm gonna start cussing in a second, and I do not cuss. This guy, the one that is always sitting in his car bothering me and making comments and stuff like that. A few weeks ago, while I was walking Jonah, he was leaving the complex. And this dude stopped his car, rolled his window down, and started blowing kisses at me. I didn't react to that. I didn't say anything, didn't do anything. I mentioned it to X just so that he knows. And I'm like, he crossed the line. He crossed the line. Today, when I went to walk Jonah on my first break. This dude was standing in his window from his apartment, staring dead at me. Whole screen open, staring dead at me so that he knows that I can see him, being like the absolute worst creeper. I was so disgusted, and I pretend I didn't see him, and I continued walking and walking, and I looked over 2 minutes later just to see if he was still looking at me. This fool was still standing in his window staring at me. I walked all the way down to the end of the block, came all the way back, and guess where this guy was? Standing on that same spot, looking dead at me, blinds wide open. He had no shame in his game. Like, he does not care. Like, this dude does not care. He has no respect for me. He's so disrespectful. He is a weirdo. He's a creep. And where he parks his car now, the way he parks it, it's hard for me to see his tag number. Like, I'm almost to the point where I want to get his tag number and find out more information on him, because there is something very, very strange on that. I'm so mad. So on my last break, I said I'm going to just find like another route for me and Jonah to walk so that he doesn't see me. And on top of that, there is another guy that just started bothering me recently. He stands out in the middle of the park, not the middle, at the end of the parking lot, making very inappropriate comments to me. And I think he's new because he just came out of the blue. It hasn't even been 2 weeks that he started this, and he's already crossed me 3 times. And not just crossed, but I mean he crossed me three times. I'm so over this. I want my house. I want to be at least 30 feet away from the street and people, because I'm starting to feel uncomfortable in my own living space, and I do not like it. I don't like it at all. It wasn't like this before. All of this stuff just started happening these past few months with these people coming out of the blue and just like not allowing me and Jonah to have peaceful walks anymore. It's not right. But the first 3.5 years I was living here, I had no issues. None. Now it's like every day there's something else. I only complain about this guy, but I have other issues with people too. And I'm like, I'm so over it. I was so heated. I was so heated this morning, guys. And I'm almost happy. Do I sound heated now? I feel like I do sound heated now. But I was even more upset earlier. And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't pick up the camera because I didn't have much time to do everything that I was doing. Girl, I'm just so ready for my house. And if I can get this guy's tag number, we're gonna find out more information on him. Something's just not right about him. Nope.
Almost like meeting somebody you already fell in love with without meeting them already.
That's a good answer.
Your turn.
Okay, so the first time when I saw you, or like the first time